it's really important, I think, for folks to know that the city has been working every single day, every single night to ensure public safety and public health across the community. As a recap, I think most people are aware that this last Saturday, a woman in her 60s tested positive for COVID-19. That brings the total number of positive cases in the city to 5. And of course, we know that many more are being tested. I want to review some recent actions that the city has taken as it relates to COVID-19. The first thing and the most important is for folks to know that we are working with all of our partners, all of our health partners, and that we're working to ensure that we have the most up-to-date information. We also know that we are trying to slow down and interrupt non-essential functions and activities when we really know that we have to slow down the progress as it relates to COVID-19. We are working hard to limit occupancy at retail and restaurants, and I want to begin by talking a little bit about that. Yesterday, Governor Newsom issued very clear guidelines as it relate to bars and to restaurants. We have in Long Beach and are putting out those orders and those final guidances today, are closing down all bars and nightclubs across the city of Long Beach. That official order from the health department is out today. We are also following the governor's recommendations as they relate to restaurants and places where people gather to eat. And I want to share with folks what we're doing. First is we are pushing towards ensuring that restaurants and food locations serve as places where they can do to-go orders, where there can be pickups, where there could be a grab-and-go system within our restaurants across the city. You've probably heard that the city has been working on further guidance as it relates to restaurants and bars. Later today, the city of Long Beach will be putting out a fuller list of rules as they relate to restaurants. Restaurant owners and workers should know that we are moving towards an all takeout to go pickup system, and that we will be putting out further information today as it relates to dining rooms and moving towards a system that has been matched by the city of Los Angeles and the county of Los Angeles. So we're trying to work with our LA County and city partners to have the same exact system in place. So again, we're moving restaurants to pick up, and they play an important delivery and a critical role as it relates to the food system moving forward. I also want folks to know that later this evening and later today, we'll be putting out guidance as it relates to closing down local gyms and fitness facilities, movie theaters, and other type of venues where there could be large gatherings. We understand there's a lot of independent gyms also across the city and small businesses. Please know that there are still opportunities, of course, to have courses available, whether they're outside or other types of activities. A lot are going virtual, and we'll be putting out some more guidance on those later today. As it relates to food, please know that the Long Beach Police Department is asking folks, and we're asking folks, to please be responsible and to please respect our neighbors and the community as it relates to grocery stores across the city. The police department has developed health and safety recommendations for grocery stores to help manage the high volume that we are facing and the customer demand. There are seniors in our community that need access to our grocery stores, so we please ask that you responsibly allow those folks to shop and to not hoard items. We've been working directly with large distributors, folks that are making the food and delivering these, and there's plenty of supply of food and supplies left. They're all going to be coming in, refilling the stores. So please do not panic around that issue. There will be more of that coming. I also think it's really important that folks understand that you can also visit neighborhood markets, bodegas, convenience stores that also have plenty of these supplies available. And as small businesses, they also need your support. I want to announce today, and we're going to be putting out more information on this tonight and throughout the week. as it relates to parking tickets and street sweeping. We are going to be putting for now, a 1-week pause as it relates to tickets and street sweeping. We're doing this because we don't want folks to wake up, especially tomorrow when street sweeping begins across the city, to be faced with misinformation or not knowing what to do as it relates to moving their cars. But I also want to be very clear that street sweeping has an important function as it relates to community and public health. And so while we are putting in this 1-week delay as it relates to receiving tickets on street sweeping, over the course of this next week, we'll be putting out a plan and a parking plan to help people adjust, because we will need to move cars to clean streets and to move cars not just for streets, but to clear gutters. We are expecting rains in the near future, and it's important that we have the ability to clear gutters, to clear debris, and so cars will be asked to move. But this week, we are putting a pause on any tickets for street sweeping. You might see street sweepers out to try to do some cleaning, but there will not be ticketing as it relates to those. And we'll have more information on that later tonight. I also want to just go over that effective today, we are dialing back information as it relates to City Hall. City Hall and many of our city facilities are closing or shifting to a much smaller staff. City staff will be working from home in most occasions. There's a small crew at City Hall, including myself, that are working from that office, and most employees will begin working from home. And this includes not just City Hall, but our libraries, our community centers, park centers are also closed to the public. The senior center is closed, but is open for the delivery and food access of seniors within the community. In addition to that, as it relates to food, Long Beach Unified School District is still offering food for all children, not just Long Beach Unified children, but for all children in Long Beach Unified School. From 8 to 9 this week, they can receive a breakfast meal, and from 11:30 to 1, they can receive lunch. And please know that that is going on all week, and they intend to put out more guidance as to how that will be available in the weeks ahead. And school is out until at least April 20th and 21st. Let me also transition that yesterday we put out some information on how we are working with people experiencing homelessness. We know that this is a very difficult time for the most vulnerable populations in our community. And please know that we have our outreach teams are talking and speaking with the community, giving them medical information. We're putting out a series of hand washing stations in critical locations. Our outreach teams have sanitizing kits, and we're passing out sanitizing kits. And while we're closing city facilities, and while we're closing City Hall, libraries, and other facilities, we are not closing our facilities that serve people experiencing homelessness. Those remain open and will continue to remain open to provide these important services and support. It's important now to individually and collectively help each other in this community. In the next few days, the city will be having conversations, and we'll be back to talk about issues around economic recovery. There's a lot of questions out there about eviction moratoriums, about folks, how they're going to pay their rent, about small businesses losing workers, about folks being laid off. We're very aware of all of those issues. And in the course of the next few days, we should see action from the governor, hopefully as well from the federal government and locally, on what that type of economic recovery and assistance will look like. So please, if you are concerned about these issues as I am and as we are, just know that information is coming. Let me turn this over to Kelly Colopy, who's going to go into some more details from a health perspective. And then we will also do, some of this will be translated into Spanish as well, which we want to make sure that we do as well. Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to start with an update of where we are. So at this time, as the mayor mentioned, we have 5 positive cases in the city. 3 of these individuals are recovering at home, and 2 are hospitalized but in stable condition. The CDC has changed its guidelines. In the past, they want to confirm all the testing. They are no longer doing that. So when they're tested positive in Long Beach, we are now confirming that those are positive cases. The fifth person, as mentioned by the mayor, who tested positive for COVID-19 on Saturday, was our first instance in the city that indicates community transmission, which means that a person did not travel to a place where there was already community spread of COVID-19. This underscores the need for the city to take strategic measures to slow the spread of disease. We should remember that most people who get COVID-19 will be able to recover at home. Those who are sick should stay in a specific room, away from other people in the home. Household members should continue to take those actions that we want everyone to take in slowing the spread of disease. Washing hands frequently with soap and water, avoiding touching our eyes, nose, and mouth, staying home when you're sick, cleaning and disinfecting items that you touch often, like your phones, other surfaces that are touched, like bathroom fixtures, keyboards, tabletops, and counters. And of course, we want social distancing, 6 feet between everybody. The actions that the city has taken recently to limit contact were put into place to limit close contact with others. As the mayor mentioned, the LA County Department of Public Health has ordered the closing of all bars and nightclubs, including breweries and wineries, where food is not served. They are closing restaurants to dining on site, so except for takeout and delivery, those are still options. They have closed theaters and live performance venues, gyms and fitness facilities, and there will be no mass gatherings over 50 people. Our current order is 250, no mass gatherings over 50 people. And we will continue to support no gatherings over 10 people who are older adults or have underlying health conditions. The city has also taken proactive steps to protect people who are experiencing homelessness, as the mayor mentioned. So while there have been changes put into place, our homeless services, our winter shelter, multi-service center, and the safe parking program do continue. Our homeless services team has been very hard at work in our communities. We are continuing our outreach. We are continuing our services on site. We'll be doing in-person education to the community and what to do if someone does begin to experience symptoms, in addition to handing out sanitation kits, installation of hand sanitizers, including at the multi-service center, but also at encampments, and hand washing stations. And then we'll be designing isolation rooms at our facility. So if someone does show up who is experiencing symptoms, we do have a space to keep them away from others and make sure that they can be tested. We are not aware of any COVID-19 cases among persons experiencing homelessness, but city staff are ready to respond in case it does show up in our facilities and if we become aware of a situation in an encampment. We're also very concerned about our seniors, age 65 and older, and we are encouraged them to self-quarantine at home following yesterday's recommendation by Governor Newsom. As a community, we need to be really making sure that we're helping our seniors with basic needs while we're not putting them at high risk. There's a lot of folks who want to be helping each other out, and we want to make sure that they're understanding how to help out in the best way. We are, as the health department, working closely with our senior partners, developing supports for older adults who are homebound. So you'll be hearing more about that coming up in the future as it's coordinated. While the city of Long Beach does continue to take unprecedented measures to protect our residents from further spread, it's important to remember that a majority of the cases will be mild. Generally, it's about 80% of cases are mild, only 20% are those that are more serious. Meaning that most of the time those who are infected will experience just mild symptoms and they will be able to recover at home without being hospitalized. Regardless of how mild or severe a case is in Long Beach, our epidemiologists treat each new infection the same. We conduct extensive interviews to determine with whom the person may have had contact while they were contagious. We follow up with each and every one of those known contacts. We determine their level of risk to exposure, and we work with those contacts to determine a plan to minimize further exposure if they are to become ill. We have currently identified approximately 100 individuals who require or have required follow-up. Some are because they traveled to a place where there is known outbreak. Some are contacts to those who are known cases of COVID-19 in the city of Long Beach. We have daily contact with them to ensure that if they do develop symptoms, that they remain away from others in order to prevent further spread. Again, we've seen in other areas, we know that most people recover from this disease. However, we still want to prevent new infections to protect those who are at higher risk for severe illness, such as older adults and those with underlying health conditions. We just want to close by saying, please pay attention to the website. longbeach.gov/COVID-19 has all the up-to-date information, numbers locally, regionally, and nationally, as well as educational materials and the most current guidance that you can find that exists at any level. We also have a public health hotline, 562-570-INFO. And lastly, please sign up for Alert Long Beach so we make sure that you're getting the emergency notifications when they arrive. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kelly. And the health department's been doing a great job throughout this whole crisis that we're going through. I'm going to have also some of this translated into Spanish, just for folks that are watching in Spanish. I want to make sure that information gets out as well. Thank you.
La ciudad apoya lo que recomienda el gobernador acerca de limitando cuánta gente hay en los restaurantes para continuar el distanciamiento social. Y también estamos apoyando y de acuerdo con el condado de Los Ángeles en limitando reuniones a 50 personas. Cualquier discoteca o lugar que no sirva comida van a cerrar. Y cuando posible, ordene comida para recogerlo o para que los restaurantes te lo traigan a su casa. Una lista de estos restaurantes va a estar en el internet más tarde. También va a salir una lista de otros lugares que van a cerrar, como los gimnasios y los cines. Además, es importante acuérdense que los mercados van a tener comida y no es necesario de estar en pánico sobre comida, agua o otras cosas. Solo compren lo que es necesario para que otra gente tenga la oportunidad de ir al mercado para comprar lo que necesitan. Los servicios de la ciudad que son para la comunidad van a cerrar y comenzar a trabajar en casa o por el internet. Y como hablaron antes del quinto caso, fue una persona que salió positiva en COVID-19 que indica la transmisión comunitaria. En este momento hay 5 casos, 3 están en casa y 2 están en el hospital y están estables. También es muy importante que la comunidad proteja a la gente que está en mayor riesgo, como la gente que está inmunocomprometido y la gente que está mayor de 65 años. Y es importante limitar reuniones de gente que están en mayor riesgo de 10 personas.
También una cosa más también, y si quería decir a la gente también que si esta semana, para una semana, nos vamos a dar tickets para tu carro. Si tu carro está parqueado y se va a mover porque el street sweeping, porque va a venir para mover eso y vamos a dar tickets. Para esta semana no tienes que mover tu carro y no te vamos a dar un ticket. Y vamos a poner más información esta semana para que la gente sepan cómo vamos a hacer eso. So, muchas gracias. Again, just want to thank everyone for watching. We'll continue to have these briefings online on Facebook Live and on Periscope and through the Long Beach Post and all of our other partners that are here. So we appreciate that. I want to just give one final recap. As a reminder, all bars should be closed by order of the Long Beach Health Department. Restaurants are transitioning to takeout, food delivery, and to-go services. Movie theaters and gyms and larger venues are also to be closed. And parking enforcement as it relates to street sweeping will be suspended for a week until we come up with a larger and better parking management plan as we get through the crisis. So those details on those guidances will be out later today. We thank you again for watching, and we'll be in touch. And please take care of each other and look out for your neighbors. Thank you.